What is up, everybody? In this video, we're going to be doing something crazy. No-hitting the Elden Ring DLC and all of its main bosses while stranded. This means we're starting our character immediately in the DLC at level 1. We also won't be able to get back to the Lands Between, so we'll only have access to the Shadow Realm and Roundtable Hold so we can upgrade weapons and transpose boss souls. The build we're going with is Pure Faith with the newly added Colossal Sword, the Fire Knight's Greatsword. With Flame Spear on it, it can do some insane damage. The high damage in combination with its great poise damage allows us to absolutely blast through some of the bosses. There are lots of new innovative strategies thanks to the newly added DLC items. The Talisman of all Crucibles is basically designed for no-hit, with backstep iframes in combination with extra iframes on rolls, which opens up bigger punish openings if used properly. The Spinning Gravity Thrust Ash of War from Gaius' weapon enables some crazy skips. And most importantly for this run, the Blindfold of Happiness skill, which is a strong stealth effect that makes some of the brutal running sections of this DLC actually consistent. This no-hit run took quite a bit of work to route and complete, but it's easily one of my favorite runs that I've done so far. So for now, you can sit back, and I hope you guys enjoyed this run. Alright, let's do it, dude. That was a good run, dude. That last run was pretty solid. It's not like I was using a bad strat on Jori there, I just missed the backstab. If I do lower damage runs than this, which I think I will, then I'm gonna have to probably go back to the backstab strat, but at least for this run, and if I do stranded all bosses, I can do this strat, or a variation of it. Yeah, hopefully I can keep getting faster at this setup too. Because last time, I mean, that one hit run we did, the run was, I think it was about 250, or it was actually less than 2 hours, 50 minutes, real time, which is faster than I had done it before, and that was even with a death on Rellana too. Nearly missed that. I probably won't do many runs today, though. I'm already kind of tired, so hopefully this one just goes well. Simply just get the run here, dude. Tomorrow should be just all attempts, I think, until I get hit by the next thing and then figure out a better strat for it, and then we just continue. Yeah, simply don't get hit and win, dude. We kill this Fire Knight for his Greatsword, but it has a really low drop rate, which is kind of annoying, so we're going to simply use Streamer Luck and get it on the first try. How similar are DS3 and Elden Ring PvP? I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but there's more... There's more to Elden Ring PvP for sure, right, with the jumping. And like, I think sometimes people underestimate how much game knowledge matters in Souls PvP. That is one of the biggest things to just being decent at PvP. You need to have the knowledge to know how to deal with certain things, and like trading, like who gets priority depending on the weapon type, and like there's so many things you need to know. It's not just about being good mechanically, but that is a big part of it. Here we go here. Yeah, the Drama King, dude.
You're no match loud, you.
Quite a bit of extra faith right there. Playing any games I consider actually too hard? Well, I've never been someone to play games that are hard in the first place, so no. Besides from getting into Souls, actually. But yeah, the games I played before streaming, I played Elder Scrolls probably the most, and I played Warframe, and I played... And all those games too, if they had difficulty settings, I basically just played it on the easiest setting. Because I didn't... Like in Morrowind and Oblivion and Skyrim, I always just played on Novice or whatever, just because I'm not playing those games to have any sort of challenge. It's just playing the game to, I don't know, it's just play the game. So I like games that are more, you know, revolving around, I like RPGs and making builds and stuff. So okay, let's go here. Because there's other games too that I've played, such as, you know, like the Halo games, I guess, right? You're kind of just following a story too if you're playing PvE, but Like, those are fun. Just before Gaius, we need to use all of our fragments that we collected to level up our Scadutree blessing for some more damage. Just like how you can level up your financial game with today's sponsor, Rocket Money. I've recently found out that Amazon has been charging me for 2 Amazon Prime subscriptions. I've been getting charged for months and I had no idea about it. Tracking where your money is going is complicated, but luckily today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. I use the app to track all of my subscriptions that I just don't really have the time to manage myself. They will even do the work to cancel unwanted subscriptions for you. You can also use Rocket Money to negotiate your bills, so that you know you're getting the best prices on everything from your internet to phone bills. The app has helped save its customers up to $740 a year with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. Make sure you go to rocketmoney.com/GinoMachino or click the link in the description to get started for free. You can even unlock more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/GinoMachino. Thanks again to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. And now, back to the run. Didn't like that right there. Just totally bugged out in the air, dude. I thought I was maybe like a little far for that jump or something. I don't even know if that's a thing, but never do no hit run of something like Zelda Breath of the Wild. Maybe eventually, but I'm just not really big into Zelda, so I think probably there's gonna be a point in time where I'm not playing Souls games anymore. At that point, I think what I could see myself doing is doing no damage runs and stuff in just a bunch of different games. I could see that happening eventually. I've been saying that for many years though, and obviously it still hasn't happened, but opinions on Gaius. I think he's a really good boss. Yeah, it is true at this point. I mean, FromSoft, with the attention span I can put into one game at this point, like by the time I'm feeling like I'm done with Elden Ring, there's probably going to be another Souls game to play. So, would I become a pro hockey player if I could? I never really had the desire to do that. I like hockey a lot, but I don't think I would have wanted to be a pro. Yeah, I'm for sure going to play Erdtree when it comes out. I think a Golden Vow would be actually quite useful on this fight. I'm gonna do it. I don't need one on Jori anymore, so. With the new strat. It's good RNG right there, actually. I don't know why, but every time I go to fight Romina, someone's always like, I really like this boss. Actual bots, dude, surely. Like, somehow everyone knows that I really do not like that boss, and so every time I go to fight them, fight Romina, it's like, oh, I really like this boss. Like, no, you don't, dude. There's no way you do. Ooh, thought I was late on that, maybe. Kind of been bad with that double hit there. I haven't really landed it very much. Oh my god, bro. Fuck you, dude. 4090, by the way.
A curse upon thee.
4090, by the way. That was almost a classic, just lost a run for no reason. Oh boy. Is it safe to jump R1 spin attack? In phase 2, it is, yeah. I just don't. Like, you can just easily strafe it as well. Like, strafing's probably easier. Okay, another boss. Now we're gonna golden vow here as well. I like this new boss order where we do a bunch of fights here. The only downside is that Consort is pushed further, but that's just how it is, I guess. Yeah, phase 2, we should really never see a Rellana phase 2 unless I really mess up. Yeah, it's Divine Beast, Putrescent Knight, and Rellana. The rest of them, we don't really skip phase 2 on. Like, our damage is very honest on this run, right? Like, we don't have access to all the buffs, all the physic tiers and stuff. That actually skyrockets our damage, right? And all the good talismans as well. Interesting RNG on this one, because he didn't... He just didn't, he didn't do the flying, like, fire attack for some reason. Like, that's really uncommon for that to happen. But you know what? It's actually, it's very good RNG when we got what we got there, which is kind of a delayed stun. Because phase 2 is definitely more dangerous, so if you get a delayed stun in phase 1, then it just makes phase 2 go faster, which is good. Yeah, we're still doing Jori after Consort because we've got a new strat there, so... Like, that's why we've only done one attempt aside from this one today, is because, you know, that attempt got to Jori, and then I got hit, and then I spent another basically 2 hours figuring out a strat, which we've definitely got a better strat there now, so... the pots, the split is we're basically just collecting pots right now. Though we got to go get the stealth item over here too. Yeah, Stranded is, I mean, it's not like I came up with the idea of doing a Stranded type of run, but I think I'm the only one doing this run. Like, this is kind of a unique thing to do. I haven't done any run like this in the other games before, but it's kind of unique to Elden Ring because the DLC is so big that a run like this makes a lot of sense to do, and then doing it no hit is just kind of more fun on top of it, or it's just an additional challenge than just doing it normally. I just think Strand is more fun. Like I was saying earlier, I don't really like doing runs where I start with a build already, because that just takes out some of the fun strategizing part. And I also didn't, like I was saying earlier, I didn't really want to do a run of this where I didn't have to learn all the bosses properly. I want to have like actually legitimate boss fights on it. Because the problem in this game, you can get so strong, right? And I'm not like... not exactly sure how the non-Stranded version goes, but the boss fights are, like, I have to imagine significantly shorter, right? I find it more fun to fight the bosses and, like, actually have decently long-ish fights against them. But yeah, basically my point is that this run is much more fun than an Elden Ring any %, for example. Reminds me of doing a DS3 type of run, basically. Where obviously our damage is good, but it's nothing, like, stupid. Next From Software game is going to be so good. I hope so. I mean... I hope so. Yeah, I mean, that's also why I've done runs like the Master Run in this game. Just so that I can do a run where I'm not... Because, like, the thing is, I have done that. I have done runs where I don't just script every single boss fight. And that's part of the reason why that run was a pretty good change of pace. Compared to just fucking one-shotting everybody. You just don't want an open world game again. I'm torn on it because I like Elden Ring more than any other game they've made. Partially because it is open world. It's just, when you're doing no-hit runs, and it just... open world is just simply worse. It's just simply not as fun. So we got that. Let's go here. That's the problem. That's why I'm kind of torn, right? Because for normal playthroughs, open world is... For me, it's way more fun. Whereas, you know, doing some of these runs in just a Dark Souls game just would not be as fun. I don't think. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Not sure what it is, though. I mean, at the very least, though, I would like to see... If it is an open world, I would like to see something like DS2, where you just have, you know, an insane... insane amount of options on which direction you can go at any given time. I think that would also be fine, too. I wouldn't mind that. Like, that's a nice middle ground. That's part of the reason why I like DS2 so much, is because of that. There's so many routes through the game, and there's so many things you can do at any given time. I think I remember working it out a while ago, but I think there's 12 bosses in DS2. And that seems like nothing compared to Elden Ring now, but I think there's 12 DS2 bosses that you can fight as your opening boss fight. Without glitches or anything. Like, that's just how the game is. Which I think is really nice, because then, you know, certain builds will have a completely different route through the game, depending on what stuff you need. And you have a lot of options. Like, I think it's so good, dude. So hopefully, if it's not open world, hopefully they do something like that again. I think in terms of the reception that Elden Ring has gotten, though, it'd be hard to imagine their next big game to not be open world, I think. Why does DS2 get shit on the most? Well, there's a lot of things that are bad about it. I mean, just like all the other Souls games, there's lots of things that are not great about it. But it does a lot of things really well also. It's just, I think in general, the things that it does well, people don't care as much about as the things that it doesn't do well. So that's why people kind of generally don't like DS2 as much. Because that, I mean, that's really what it comes down to, right? With which of these Souls games you like the most. Because all of them are good games, but it just comes down to the details on what you prefer and things that you don't like. And just, you know, if in Dark Souls 2, the thing that you care by far the most about is build variety and like world progression and being able to have a ton of options, then you're going to probably like DS2 quite a bit. Compared to Dark Souls 3, for example, where you basically have not as many options. Okay. You hate Bloodborne because you hate London? That is fair. I think there's also something to be said, too, about like people's expectations going into something, and in this case, a game. So, like, if someone's getting into Bloodborne right now, probably the only things that they've ever heard is how insanely good the game is. And I think... Oh my god, just get out of here. I think that does impact how much you like it. And it's in the exact same as with DS2, but the opposite. Like, based on what I've heard, is like you hear DS2 so bad, and then you go into it thinking it's like, oh, this game kind of sucks, and then you're just gonna think it sucks, basically. Demon's Souls is so underrated. I 100% would agree with that, actually. I think Demon's Souls is better than people give it credit for, especially considering, like, the remake is really good. But I think it's just better than people give it credit for sure.
I thought I'd see you here. It's been quite some time.
Ever.
Don't you dare approach Miquella the Kind. Needle Knight Leda and Dryleaf Dane will never allow this.
It doesn't have to be nighttime for this strat, but if it's daytime, then they would probably be aggroed right now. So nighttime is nice because I don't have to cast stealth all the time. Stealth, thanks for the 2-month resub as well. Fuck you, dude. I feel like if she did jump attack right there, I probably die to that. Because of the big slope, right? Like, the whole reason I can dodge the jump attack is because I go underneath it. But I think right there, probably I don't go underneath it. It would be just my guess, but I don't know. I haven't had it happen yet. It's over Genokin. She has the high ground. It's actually the opposite, though. It's over because I have the high ground. And it's over, not in my favor, actually. Brother, did you forget what we're doing? Another weird phase 1 that he gave me that time. Okay, so we need to go get the sleep set up now. Yeah, there's another weird phase 1, and then phase 2, he was also really wanting to do that backstep clone attack, dude, but the dodge is still working fine, so... And yeah, there was a moment there, too, where he did the rock sling attack, and I was considering whether or not to relocate him to the center, but then his HP was really close to the threshold to do the big comet attack, so I was like, I'm going to be able to get a charged R2 off, and it is likely enough damage that he's going to do the comet, and then I can relocate him during that instead, and which is exactly what I did, which I think was the right play. It worked out perfectly. Like, it worked out exactly as I thought it would, so. We're definitely getting consistent, though, dude. That's another run past Consort. What if that's scripted right there, that guy sprinting like that? Starts a new Black Knight Halberd. I don't know about that. I think the Black Knight Halberd has quite a bit higher drop rate than this fucking weapon does. I still, to this point, do not understand why they have such insanely low drop rates for items in their games. I guess it's probably for NG Plus runs, right? I guess, or I don't know.
I'll give you the best nut ever.
Even then, though, having this 0.5% drop rate nonsense is just ridiculous, dude. It's just insane. Could have just had it drop off a specific guy or something. I think the way that they should have done it is just have bosses, especially in this game, have bosses that unlock the stuff in the shop. Right, so for example, you kill the Clean Rot Knight duo or something, and then you can buy the armor set. Okay, here we go. Back to Jori again. New strat. Is that RNG I was talking about? A little bit cleaner than last time. And that was actually kind of like the bad RNG situation where you have to use the sleep pot. Ideally, we don't have to use or sorry, I said the sleep pot, the frost pot. But yeah, the point of the frost pot, if you go back and watch it, it cancels the teleport is what it does, because we get a frost proc, and then you get the stun, like the micro stun. I didn't end up moving Midra. Midra's still in the same spot. What I did do, though, is I moved Rellana and Bayle earlier. Yeah, that's what I did. And I think it makes a lot of sense because those bosses are tougher. The whole setup for Consort is very long. So it only takes about 10 or 15 minutes to get those two bosses out of the way before I go to Consort. It just makes the most sense. The hardest boss on this run is probably Consort, I would say. And even the bosses that aren't as hard, they have... Like, I think Romina is a boss that doesn't have that as complicated of a moveset, but there's still so much you need to know with that fight and so many little details with positioning that it makes it a lot harder than it would be otherwise. And yeah, that's why this has taken quite a bit of time to get so far. I mean, I haven't gotten it yet, but it's because it is a difficult run and it's all brand new content, right? Because yeah, people are probably used to me getting runs in like from routing and practicing to getting it in a few days, but definitely not this one. A lot more effort had to go into this one so far. I wonder if he could get, like, trapped in there somehow. He's trying to at any percent. It's already done. I've actually already done it about 8 times already. So that's why I was a little surprised that people were actually even doing that. The run is 3 boss fights. Because I was kind of surprised that people were trying to go for that immediately as opposed to doing just all the main bosses.
depths of your...
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
That's definitely not what I meant to do. Was decent. All right, so now we have this running section. Yeah, that without, like, it's actually insane that they added a stealth item in the DLC, because if not, with some of these sections, it would be, I just have no idea how you do it. Really feel like I should do Metyr before Putrescent Knight, actually, because the running section is a little sketchy, but I've got it pretty well down at this point. Like, Metyr's for sure more dangerous. You know what? Restarting my game is really not a bad idea. You know what? I'm gonna do that. That's a really good point. I should have done that earlier. My game was lagging on the Messmer fight really badly. And and yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I should probably restart my game. And I just never did. Okay.
Well, I am It is an inland seeing that allow me to...
Definitely want it to be nighttime here. How scary is Metyr? Metyr is very scary, actually. Well, so the thing with Dragon Man skip is that you need to die, right? So, whereas Godskin Noble skip is just parkour. So that is why. Well, unless you're talking about the like insane glitch one, but
Twice the star addressed to on the contrary. Now, may you.
Gorphobic, thanks for the 100 bits as well, dude. Fuck. Okay. I probably shouldn't have gone in there. Ooh, that was a little lucky. I would have been fine. I probably just would have had a Memory of Grace out if I got laser there, which I was prepared to do. But yeah, that's what can happen. It's like when the little hands get next to Metyr, sometimes the boss just freezes, and then they're kind of in an awkward spot. Dude, I'm a little tired, man. But I gotta finish the run now, dude, if we can. Insane 1 extra point in faith. Here we go. Simple. Easy. Simple, dude. Also, a really good time as well. There it is, Stranded. All main bosses no hit, including it's more than all remembrances because we did Bayle, but now we get this insane cutscene, dude.
My God, dude.
Yeah, there we go.
That's so shit.
GG's, dude.
That is so
easy.
Shit. That is such a garbage.
Maybe.
Easy.
I'll give you the best nut ever. Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
LFG Gina.
Maybe
This cutscene looks a lot better after you finish a no-hit run, dude. That's for sure. That was a nice run, man. I mean, I was definitely towards the end of this. I was getting quite consistent at it.
Dude, that's
In-game time,
shit.
2:30.
So
Holy shit,
shit.
dude.
That
That's
is
that's
such a
that's basically
garbage.
20 minutes faster than I've done this
Oh my
before as well,
God.
which is pretty damn good.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
How was it so much faster, though? Like, I guess I was just focused and I wasn't really messing around. We were just, I don't know. We were simply just steamrolling it, dude. Yeah, this is a pretty tough run, though. Like, this is definitely way harder than... I think it's harder than any other Souls game no-hit any percent. I was comparing it earlier to kind of like an SL1.
Nut ever.
SL1 no-hit in DS3 in terms of difficulty, but it's also just a lot longer. But, I mean, 2.5 hours, though, man. That's really surprising.
Ever.
Especially considering an hour of that is just setting up, right? It's before you even fight a single boss. So
Oh my
yeah, I'm pretty happy with that run, dude. I was definitely getting way more consistent, right? Like, I don't know how many times we got past Consort in the past few runs, but I think I did like 8 runs past him. But yeah, that was fun, man. This is a really fun run to do, actually. I would highly recommend it. Thanks for all the stuff, you guys. I'm gonna go pass out right now. Yeah, this was really fun, dude. I think next will probably be I'm looking forward to doing Stranded all bosses, all DLC bosses no hit, so just every boss in the DLC. Yeah, and then another thing we're gonna do for sure now is the All Remembrances no hit, like base game plus DLC. I think that'll be cool. Like plus Bayle, of course, because you gotta include Bayle. But yeah, GG's, dude. Simple run, easy.